Welcome back to DotLife. This is a very exciting day for a Dorchester-based podcast because we are about to go into Dorchester Weekend.
Woo woo!
Which is obviously the conglomeration of Dorchfest followed by Dot Day Parade. So we're really excited to have here today Elle Marrone, who is the executive director at Greater Ashmont Main Street and the chair of Dorchfest. Hey, Elle.
Hello, thank you.
And Mike Szkolka, who is the VP of the Dot Day Parade Committee. Hey, Mike.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So we're going to get really excited, but before we get too excited, let's talk a little bit about ourselves. So Elle, tell us a little bit about you, what you do at GAMS. I'm going to call it GAMS because it's just easier.
Yes.
Okay. And a little bit more about your background.
Okay, so I live up the street, and I came to GAMS after selling my dog walking business, and the client, my area that I covered in the dog walking business was basically the same as the commercial district of Greater Ashmont Main Street. So it made the transition very easy. And I went from being one of the entrepreneurs to supporting my entrepreneur peers. At Greater Ashmont, I've been on the job now this is my second year. Had a little maternity leave, so I think it's been like 12 months now. But we try to make Dorchester, make this neighborhood really a destination, support the local businesses in the area. And yeah, it's through many different things, and Dorchfest being the most fun of our events, for sure.
And Mike, how about you? Are you a Dorchester guy?
Yes. Lived here since 81 when I was like 2. Lived in the Blake House then, which is
Wow.
The oldest house in Boston.
Is it haunted?
Sadly, no. That would have been a dream come true. Very unfortunately, never saw a ghost. Mom never saw one. My dad never saw one. It's the most disappointing.
Opportunity missed.
I know. Very sad.
Maybe you are a ghost.
That could be it. That'd be interesting.
Hadn't thought of that.
Big bonus to the podcast. And then there was that time we had that ghost on.
We can cut that out.
We're keeping it. Keeping it
I like that. Yeah.
in. And so you live in Seven Hill now?
I live in Seven Hill. Yeah. Lived in a few different places, but Dorchester, Boston itself, Dorchester especially, absolutely home for me and always will be.
Awesome. I can see by your hat.
Yes.
Awesome. It's a great hat.
Very creative.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
very cool hat. Not as cool as Elle and Mike. Well, Elle, you're not wearing your,
No.
our 2025 Dorchfest hats, but it's a close second. So let's talk about Dot Day Parade. A little bit of history. This has been around for a while.
It has. So the first Dot Day was celebrated in 1904. It was to commemorate the 274th, which is a silly number to commemorate.
Very random number.
Yep. Yeah.
They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for 275.
Yeah. They were just getting ready for
They want to party now.
26 years early on 300, which is really a big one.
Those early Bostonians were famously party animals.
Yes, I think they were. That was the 274th anniversary of the settling by the colonists in Dorchester. Obviously, there were many indigenous people living here for centuries, millennia before that. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that was that. The first parade. Well, the second Dorchester Day was commemorated with parades the following year. And this year is actually, I think there must have been one year that they missed, but this year is the 119th Dot Day Parade.
Very cool. That's a long time. That's an established event.
Yeah, now it's making me feel like I should have been more prepared to be a member of the committee. It's such a part of Dorchester's history.
I think you're doing a great job.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Jesus. No, it's really cool, and I think it's just continued to grow and get bigger. I love that. I love that it involves the whole community in such a positive, fun way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's plenty going on in the city in Dorchester to make things divisive. It can be challenging, right? And that's the nature of living in a city, and we're all kind of on top of each other. Who can hate a parade, though, right? It brings everyone together in the most positive way I can think of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great day. Elle, Dorchfest doesn't have quite a storied history as the Dot Day Parade, but we're getting there. We only have like 115 more years, so yeah.
Fly right by.
And then one day, somebody will be celebrating the 274th anniversary
Of the Dorchfest.
Of the first Dorchfest.
Tell us a little bit about Dorchfest, and if you want to chat about history too, I can jump in if needed.
Yeah, well, these amazing volunteers in the Ashmont Adams neighborhood got together, neighbors, during COVID.
Yeah.
And thought they needed a party.
Yeah.
A way to have neighbors connect and enjoy the outdoors. You can say a little bit more about the germination of the idea of So
Dorchfest. As astute listeners know, I moved here from JP, and one of the things I loved about JP was their Porch Fest. And I took the idea to the Ashmont Adams Neighborhood Association, who loved it. We're all about it. They are the most supportive committee I think I've ever seen in my life. And then we got this great committee of volunteers. I don't even want to leave people out, but I do want to shout out, like Rachel Felix was a founding member, Kara Washington, Cindy Fadden, Gail Revgalia. We had just a great crew, and I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody from that early year, but we pulled it together and launched the first Dorchfest, and it's been just growing and thriving ever since. So really new volunteers and new bands.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I've been definitely attending it since day one, and inviting my friends from the burbs too, who were just like, this is Ashmont, this is Dorchester, this is great. So it's been a great, kind of booster event for the neighborhood, which I love.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, before we get too far into Dorchfest, can you tell us a little bit more about what GAMS does in general? I know you talked about supporting entrepreneurs, but is it a division of the city, or is it an independent organization?
Yeah. So the Main Street America is our umbrella group, and they were really founded to help reinvigorate kind of middle America cities. Like, so last year, the Main Street America conference was in Birmingham, Alabama. That's a perfect example because they had a burgeoning steel industry, and then that went overseas. And so they had this infrastructure and just the buildings and the land to support a large group of a large city, but it's just
not
kind
the
of
industry or the jobs.
Tumbleweeds just going through. So
Yeah.
How do you revitalize a downtown when the industry has left? And then it was Mayor Menino who brought Main Street to urban America and starting in Roslindale Village. So they're kind of using that same roadmap of how to revitalize a downtown works for urban areas as well. Having placemaking events like Dorchfest, supporting local businesses with technical assistance, helping them kind of get through the red tapes of starting, opening up and getting loans, things like that. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit. Boston has 20 main streets, and they're all individual nonprofits, but we get a large chunk of funding from the city of Boston because Menino and then mayors after him have wanted to keep main streets going. There's some things that you can do really well at scale, from the top, but then having something like this where we are so familiar with our district, we are, available right here in the district is really nice too. So some things work better on the micro level.
Yeah. And how far up Dot Ave do you go?
We go about a mile from Mercer to Melville on Dot Ave. And it really is, the city's mandate is really helping our brick and mortar businesses along Dot Ave. But, other mandates from, other grants and kind of the neighborhood associations are to also provide assistance and these special events and kind of keep the streets looking nice, a half mile or whatever the walking distance from the commercial district is.
Okay, that's great. And talk about the committee. So we've got quite a few folks on the committee this year.
Yeah, I mean, that was also really just, inheriting a well-oiled machine with a lot of really excited volunteers was a dream come true for me here, working with just myself and part-time Crystal. So yeah, the committee really dedicated individuals. One night a week we meet. 2 hours to 4 hours, whatever it takes. And it was a committee of 11 of us, and then some other helpers as well. But everybody takes responsibility for one aspect, whether it's asking residents to donate their porches as stages, or getting in touch with the bands, or making sure that the waters are ordered for the day of. Talking with the Boston Water Sewer Commission to get their water truck located here in the festival to keep people hydrated. I mean, it really is a group effort. It's amazing.
And Mike, I'm sure you can relate to that idea of group effort and how a lot of hands make a lot of light work.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? Is to have a lot of hands. Yeah. The committee is, I think, right now probably the Dorchester Day Parade Committee, that is probably smaller now than it often has been in the past. We still, I mean, we appreciate everyone who's a part of it, and it's awesome. But this is only my second year on the committee, so I think for me, and I'll only speak to my experience, a lot of it is really just trying to normalize our functions, and like figure out like, okay, like let's make a list of what we actually do have to do, time frame, and it's so it's been running so smoothly for so long that it's a challenge to walk in and figure out what your spot is in it, and how you can give back to this process. I mean, at the same time, the committee members are very welcoming, so it's like it's been a lot of fun. I think some upcoming updates, like redoing the website a bit, kind of getting a little better about using technology more successfully, things like that. It'll be cool, and we're always looking for more volunteers.
Yeah. Let's take a step back and actually define what these events are. I think a lot of people, everybody knows the Dorchester Day Parade, but tell us more about it. Like, what exactly is it? When does it start? What day is it? Is it rain or shine?
Oh, man. Okay. It is... Is it rain or shine? If it rains really, really, really hard, then no, I think it's canceled and not rescheduled, because it would be impossible to do all the rescheduling. Right? If there's a nor'easter, we cancel.
I think we had that for the month, right? That's over. We're not having another one this May.
There's time. It's Boston. This is New England. We got time for more nor'easters.
That's true.
Hopefully not, and hopefully not this weekend for all of our sakes.
Yeah.
It is June 1st, this coming Sunday, depending on when you're listening. It's June 1st. Starts at 1 p.m. down Lower Mills. What is that? Like Richmond and Dot Ave. Starts at 1, carries up Dot Ave to Columbia Road. Usually, if you want to get a sense of it, I think like kind of the first part of the parade, which is like led by like the mayor, fire department, BPD, mayor following that usually gets up there at like 3:30.
Okay.
So again, it starts
like,
at 1.
3 miles or just over 3 miles?
It's like about 3 miles, and it, full experience can be, it's several hours. It's a lot. There's probably 70, 80 participants. I can't remember off the top of my head. Marching band style, dance groups, lots of nonprofits involved, good number of floats.
And how do you get participants? Do they pay to like be in the parade itself, or is that volunteering?
This is interesting, actually, and good question. Nonprofits get to join the parade for free. It's they're welcome to be a part of it. Elected officials or candidates for office do have to pay. The performers are paid. They're compensated actually for their time, which is awesome, right? I mean, maybe that's how all parades work, and I just don't know much about other parades.
I don't know much about parades, actually.
It's like really cool.
I think that sounds awful. It doesn't sound standard.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's because it's cool. These people are putting in their time and effort, and so frequently, especially in the music world, you are not compensated for like anything that you are doing out there. Yeah, know full well personally. So it's really cool that we raise enough money to make that happen and to be able to fund the process.
Yeah, that's great. Now, a little side note here. You said specifically you would not sing when I set up the microphone, but you just hinted that you got some musical ability.
I went to music school, but not for singing.
Maybe we can worm a song out of you a little bit later. We'll see.
I would bring me back and I'll sing something. Just
You got a little prep time.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Just a little bit of prep. Something maybe by the Smiths. I think I'm in that register.
Okay.
But yeah.
Got
we'll
it.
see.
Got it. Elle, tell us more about Dorchfest. What can people expect? How many bands? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, we have, similar to Dorchester Day Parade, we do pay the bands. We've got about 60 right now for this year. The mastermind behind matching porches and bands, Erin right here, is hard at work kind of making this magic work. But so we have about 60 bands, a little over 30 porches, and anywhere from, we even do have a band starting at 12 at the plaza, but mostly they're from 1 to 5. So I would say you should come down here, probably best to take the T because parking's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Beaumont Street is gonna be closed down, so there's no navigating around there. And just start Parish of All Saints and wind your way through the Ashmont Adams neighborhood, follow your ears, and go all the way down to the BPL Adams Street Library.
And then backtrack.
And then back.
Because there's going to be new bands on those stages when you come back through.
Yeah, the painful part of Dorchfest every year is that you can't be everywhere all at once.
Unless you bring an e-scooter.
You're right. I know.
That's one of the things we talked about at one point was collaborating with like Limes or Blue Bikes. We never did it. We should do that next year.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Add that to the postmortem.
Yeah. We were thinking about there was a time we were thinking about changing the location of the Ashmont Friday market, farmers market, and we were thinking about contracting pedicabs to just kind of take us all around.
That's cool.
So
yeah.
Maybe pedicabs next year.
We're open to all ideas. Neither of those things come together very easily, especially not without sponsorship. I know at least for the Dorchfest side of things, do you want to shout out some of the sponsors who've been so instrumental this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Santander, has it been 4 years now that they've been sponsored?
Not 4, but I think 3.
3. I mean, just a really just kind of doing the heavy lift of each year. I've heard that, previously, kind of, are we going to make this happen? Is it going to, are we actually going to get enough to fund the bands? And Santander has kind of allayed the fears early by coming in and supporting. A nice new special edition, which we really hope we can continue to foster this relationship with Amazon. They really want to have support block parties and local vibrancy in the neighborhoods of Boston. So got a nice support from Santander, Amazon, Dorchester Reporter. I mean, how old is that? Speaking of like 119, it's not that old.
No, 42 years, I believe.
42.
Yeah.
I know they got a Legacy Business Award this past year. But they've also been instrumental. I know that personally, it's not happening if it's not in the Dorchester Reporter, as far as I'm concerned. So, having them as our media sponsor, kind of helping with the build up and, and getting people the information that they need, that's been really important. And then our neighbors here next door, Eastern Bank. We've also had a lot of local businesses, Trinity, Scobies, coming in, and helping out.
Yeah,
too,
and even some individuals in the neighborhood are just really. I've had over the years just so much positive feedback from people that they love it and they're willing to put some money toward it, which is really awesome.
Yeah. As I said, just coming into this organization, this event, and having it be so wealthy with volunteers, and then also the donations. It's just this is obviously something that the neighborhood cares about. So, I mean, it's just been really a pleasure to ride on the coattails of the people who started this.
It's been a pleasure to have you take the coattails. Mike, what about sponsors on the Day Parade side?
I'll run through them quickly.
Yeah,
I want to include especially just the main ones. Also, Dorchester Reporter is awesome. I actually wrote for it 25 years ago. I think I wrote 5 articles.
Okay.
They're not good. But the 40s put up with me, and that was nice of them. I appreciate that. Some of our sponsors, all local ones, Alpha Dog Pet Grooming, Dolan Funeral Home, Iron Workers District Council, Laborers Local 223, Maverick Hospitality Group, which I actually didn't know this until now, operates like Lucy's down in Adams, the Bowery, Chubb's Taco and Tequila Bar, McGonagall's, a great place. More
New,
new. Yeah, it's awesome. Triple Decker Candle Company. Excuse me for not being able to say that. I love that lady. They're great people. Spent time at Polish Fest with her last Sunday. It was a lot of fun. 2 Sundays ago? Yeah. Some others, Neponset Circle Car Wash, Dorchester Running Club, Boomers, where I definitely got my first like cool car stereo down on Columbia Road.
I got my remote starter. It was my Christmas present this year. I love it.
I love that place. Yeah. Shout out to them, Blasi's Kitchen and Bar, Molinari's. We just ordered pizza from them on Friday.
Yeah, we ordered that on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny when I was looking at the list, because there's a list. I was like, oh yeah, damn, man. These are all people that I know. Landmark, Boston Firefighters, Local 718, Sprinkler Fitters, Local 550, and Ice Cream Smith, where I actually haven't been. Probably should.
They are
absolutely.
a Legacy Business Award winner this year.
This year.
Yeah.
Man, see, ice cream's not my go-to, so I just tend to not think of it, but like I should check
Check it out.
Yeah.
I should do that.
It's worthwhile.
I should do that.
What about specific floats or acts or whatever that you think we should certainly turn out for? I know I took my dog the first year that I lived here. I took him to Dot Day Parade, and the Mounted Patrol came out, and that was the end of his experience at the Dot Day Parade. He did not like the horses. So I will be looking for the horses, but Humphrey will not be there.
Yeah, horses are awesome, right?
They are.
Yeah.
I don't know what his problem is.
It's funny because we organized like the lineup. I mean, we're there at like 9:45, so it's kind of interesting because like I don't get to see the parade because then I'm with like my group all the time and I'm like running back and forth now, so.
So you don't know what's there. So we got to find somebody else to tell us.
No, like it's actually it's a lot of effort, guys. Damn. No, so I think a few that I'd emphasize, like the crew from Little Saigon, I know has like a few different floats going. I always love what they're doing, man. They're close friends of mine. Love those people. They're always something to look for. The performers are always awesome. Really, really cool stuff. This year, there's a really interesting participant. So I had never heard of this before. It's Polly's Push. It's called, okay? Polly's Push. It's this guy, Pauly Veneto. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He was a flight attendant. He retired later on, but he was a flight attendant. He would have been on, United Airlines Flight 175.
Oh, wow.
That Tuesday in 2001.
Yeah.
He happened to have taken the day off to, like, help a friend, like, building a rock wall or something. Like, it was, like, something random. So he takes the day off, ends up not on that flight, but of course we all know what happened, and he since then he was trying to figure out how to like give back. So what he started doing was pushing like a cart, like the flight attendant, like the dining cart or beverage cart, following like the basic path of each flight. So like he went like Boston down to the World Trade Center in New York. Mm-hmm. He went Newark to, was it like Shanksville, Pennsylvania, I think, and Dulles Airport to the Pentagon. So I think the last year he did that was the last year he's going to do it because he's like kind of retiring from that as well. Last year was 2024 was the last time he did it. But he's from Braintree, and he's joining us in the parade.
And is that cart expedition, is that a fundraiser?
I believe for him it is, yes. You can look that up, yeah. I'm not exactly sure. I believe he's raising funds.
Wow,
but like it's really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Any other performers we should look for?
Oh man, that's tough. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I love the dance crews. You know, like with it's
the marching bands too. Those are very cool.
Being in education, it's like anytime if there's like a bunch of kids getting out there, they're almost all like BPS kids. It's really exciting. You know? So I get a kick out of that. There's a lot of students that I've known over the years who have participated in those groups, and so that's awesome.
Very
kind of
cool.
tugs at me extra, along with enjoying just kind of the vibe and the music.
Yeah.
And you had said that you marched in it as well. Were you in a band?
No, I think like Dorchester Little Leagues, having a Little League, something like that. I was definitely involved in to that extent. You know, I don't know, when Marty was running one time, I was in the parade. I don't know, it's like a lot of like random like political things, but yeah, it's so I've been in the parade a good number of times myself, and actually my school was in it last year. My truck was in it. It was cool. I didn't get to drive my truck or participate in that process because I was too busy organizing.
And your school, I don't think you've mentioned is...
Oh, did I not mention it? Excel High School in Southie.
In Southie, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's such like a cool array of different people in it, and you know, and again, like if you got a nonprofit, you got a business, you want to put your name out there, the parade's a great way to do it. Like Ed said earlier, it's so like positive for the community. It's I wish there were more. There's plenty of participants, but there could always be more. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely reflects kind of the, you know, diversity and the different neighborhoods and different parts of Dorchester that make us so cool. Speaking of diversity, we at Dorchfest have a complete emphasis on diversity of bands, diversity of genres, and diversity of performers to make sure that we are representing a cross-section of our neighborhood, and we've been doing that for 4 years. And Elle, you've been great about continuing that idea. Can you highlight some of the performers that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I must say, I saw Noir Soul at Boston Arts Music Soul Festival, BAMS Festival, Franklin Park. It's really an awesome festival that they have. So it's kind of nice to have, you know, here in Boston, we like things in our backyards. Literally, we'll go somewhere else, but it's also really nice to just have it, you know, at home. So bringing that to our home is awesome. So Noir Soul, definitely. Nate Coben and his band played at our holiday market. It was awesome. I'm also gonna really try to get to that one. City Maiga, also African drumming. There's a lot of great stuff, but then also the family hour.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Level Ground MMA.
Yeah, so this is new this year. We're introducing from 12 to 1 an hour that is focused on getting families and kids out to really... The whole event is kid-friendly, so it's not as if, you know, send your kids home after 1. It's going to be really sweary. But...
Level Ground's awesome, though. They employ a bunch of my kids, man. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, some of my
cool.
like current students. I love Level Ground. They're awesome.
Meeting Mike,
he
was a impactful. He's a great entrepreneur up the street in Fields Corner, and I was just like, how do we do more with this guy?
Yeah. So 12 to 1, very deliberate focus on events for kids, demos for kids. So Level Ground MMA will be there. The Bin Din Academy,
some drum lines. I mean, I wonder even if there are going to be some people who are going to do back-to-back, like 4-Star Dance Studio. Are they also? So. I bet so. Like, turn them out.
I think so.
Yeah. Both on Dorchfest and Dorchester Day
Sleep
Parade.
for a few hours, get up and do it again.
I know.
Some hardworking people in Dorchester.
Absolutely. But I think it's great to have, not only are we intentionally bringing in the families and young children, but we're also giving our local businesses a platform to advertise. You know, what's better than your kid, you know, falling in love with the MMA class, and then now next thing you know, you're signing up for MMA lessons.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Boston Rhythmic Gymnastics will be there. Freckleface Yoga is doing a quick yoga class in Rundell Park. We're Boston's smallest park, I believe. So there's going to be a ton of stuff to do, and it will be rain or shine, barring nor'easters, lightning. Right.
Anything dangerous, we won't go on. But
dangerous situations actually do.
Sharknadoes. I think that'll be a cancellation. Right?
Terrified of sharks. That would be very bad.
One thing I actually wanted to talk to you about also is vendors. So we've got several vendors this year. This is something we added. I think in year 2 we brought in a food truck, and then we kind of expanded a little bit from there. But this year we're kind of doubling down on vendors.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at a festival, you're going to be walking around because cover, what is it? Maybe 2 square miles, maybe something like that. So, you know, you're going to get hungry. So it's nice to feed the attendees, but it's also really nice, again, to give our local businesses a platform. So, you know, we have House of 7 Cafe, who operates out of Commonwealth Kitchen. So that's an incubator for food businesses in Dorchester. We have Mig's Dogs, who's a favorite here at the plaza. beef hot dogs for all who are interested. We'll have even the mix. They opened up a year ago now, and their chef Jarvis is going to be making chicken sliders and other things available.
Lobster? Did I hear lobster?
He was talking about lobster, but it might not do well.
That's fair.
In the heaters
Yeah.
over a long time. So
Especially in the
we'll
rain.
See. Yeah. Well, maybe better in the rain. I don't know.
It's not going to rain. It's not going to rain.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Slushy lady. So for this people with the sweet tooth, we'll have that. And then a banh mi truck.
Awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds great. And one thing that's different at Dot Day Parade every year is the marshals. So we've got 2 marshals this year for the first time, right? Is this the first? Well, I don't know if you know the whole 119-year marshal history, but as far as we know,
this is the first time there's 2. So yeah, it's really cool, and that credit to Brianne Gore she's the president of the committee and wonderful person, great friend. It was definitely her idea, and we were pondering just kind of how to honor everyone the best we possibly can, right? So we have one chief marshal. I haven't personally met either of them, but we will soon. Charlie Santangelo is a veteran of the U.S. Army, Vietnam era. So that's awesome. But we also have an honorary chief marshal, Tan Nhu Pham, who is a veteran of the South Vietnamese Army. It's in our bylaws that you have to be a veteran of the U.S. Army to have been to be a chief marshal. Mm-hmm. So he's an honorary chief marshal. But I'm not going to go into his story because hopefully you can Google him and read more about him. I'm sure the reporter's going to put something out about him because his story is fascinating. But yeah, we really wanted to emphasize the fact that I think Dorchester's Vietnamese community is too often kind of overlooked, and it shouldn't be that way because they revitalized Dorchester in so many ways in the 80s and early 90s, and they're such an integral part of everything that goes on.
Yeah, and with this being the 50-year anniversary of the fall of Saigon, I think
exactly,
it's really important to recognize that.
And just kind of to memorialize like the diaspora of so many Vietnamese people from that point. We wanted to do something just kind of different, something go in a slightly different direction, just to kind of to honor them, especially this year. So yeah,
I think that was a great choice. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
well done.
Yeah, it's awesome. It'll be really cool.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, you will not have. I say unfortunately. I feel like I shouldn't do that because it's really mean to the actual person who won, who did a great job. But I was a little sad that Walter didn't win the mayor of Dorchester. But we have a great consolation prize.
Yeah, Bridget's awesome. Bridget McDonough is she's a talented, popular fitness trainer.
She did raise more money than Walter. Walter was slacking, so she deserves it.
She did, yeah,
Absolutely.
she did. She's it used to be Body Plus Fuel. What is it? Dotbox now.
Dotbox.
Is that her brother owns that?
Yeah,
she has a large family.
Patrick. Yeah. And so I grew up more with her brother Sean. Hopefully Sean hears this. Sean was very upset that Bridget beat Walter the dog.
Oh, really?
From
Okay.
Dorchester. Yes, it's very contentious. I'm not sure how Bridget's still taking it. Sean demanded a recount on Instagram.
I think that's
anyways.
fair. Yeah, there's some shady stuff going on here.
You never know.
$500 was the margin.
Was
right?
it really?
It was super close. Yeah. But also, so I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but they both raised around like $10,000, which I believe is some of the highest that anyone has raised for mayor of Dorchester, which is awesome.
I want to go on the record saying I am very supportive of Bridget, and I really appreciate
Yeah,
what you
she's
did.
wonderful,
And
yeah.
it's not your fault that you faced off against a golden retriever. That's not fair.
I've met Walter the dog, his owner Jenna Marie Taylor. She's awesome too. Walter is 100% a very good boy. He runs around a lot. He's a great dog.
And don't
he's
give
a
up,
high
Walter.
quality dog.
Don't give up. Public office is in your future. Yep.
City council, I guess not this year because those papers are already in. But,
and I think there's a pretty crowded field. Walter actually might struggle in that field. There's like 70 people running for office this year. So yeah, It's going to be...
I would like to see what Walter could do. I got faith in that boy. But yeah, it was really cool, and man, massive thanks to them. Like it literally we wouldn't be able to put it on without the support of people fundraising like that, and they put in so much time and effort into it, and so that's awesome. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's the theme through this, is that many hands are necessary, many donations are necessary, and that allows people to deliver things like this to the public. So we really appreciate that from everybody who has donated, participated, socialized, shown up. It matters. And why does it matter? Let's talk broadly about events like this. You guys spend a lot of time, I've spent a lot of time making these things happen. Why? Why do we care? I mean, sure, it's fun, but I think there's a broader reason why communities need events like this. Elle, do you mind answering that?
Well, I do think that it's important to see your neighbors, and it's crazy that even the neighbors on my same street, you just have slightly different hours or working from home, you just don't see them. So having these intentional opportunities where we're going to go out and we're going to be together, it was the fact that neighbors were hanging out that was the how Dorchfest even came to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really like the collaborations and the kind of cross-pollination of ideas that come from these opportunities for us to hang out. And I can even segue into one of the programs actually that Greater Ashmont has been the most successful, has been our business breakfast. We do have some dedicated volunteers that help make it happen, but it is really just such a light lift. And all it is the business owners in the district offer up their spaces. We get some catering, coffee and pastries, and people just network. And so much amazing, collaborations, whether it's a slushie and a workout, or a Pages to Palette. It's an event coming up between the local hand curating art with Just Bookish. So just these things, just like new events that come up because people are able to hang out and share their ideas together. So that's one of the really important parts. And then, as I was saying, for the health of the business district, for the health of our local economy, having people come in or even just come out of their houses and walk up and down the streets and shop is really important to the neighborhood.
Mike, you made the comment earlier, which I think resonates, that we're not all on the same page. We live in a city, we have different views, we have different priorities, but things like this kind of are the great, I don't know if equalizer is the right word, but kind of the thing that people can get behind without a political agenda or a philosophical agenda or anything like that.
Totally. That means a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's there's plenty of time to be divisive, and there's not nearly enough time where you can genuinely and truly just come out and support your community and support each other. And things like this, I actually did not even realize how similar kind of the Dorchfest outlook is to the parade. That actually had never occurred to me until you were talking about it. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. It's it's hard to find time to just be simply positive, and that these kinds of events do that for us. I think, especially, I said education. I think the thing that goes to my mind and what makes the parade so special is it's for everybody, but it's especially for kids. And that's so cool. There's so many students who are, if you're like, what? I love Dorchester, and they're from Dorchester, and they're like, at first glance, right? Especially because they're young people, they just see the problems, they see what's bad about a thing, and you go to the parade, and they're like, hell yeah, I love it. And you're like, yeah, right? Yeah.
There's no JP Day parade.
Yeah, the parade's awesome, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I spent so many years living in other places talking about how awesome Dorchester is.
Yeah.
This is, at least for me, the best way that I can possibly give back to the community.
Love that. So May 31st, 12 to 1 Dorchfest. 12 to 1 Family Hour, 1 to 5 Dorchfest. Come out for the whole thing. It's going to be great. June 1st, 1 to
kind of when it ends.
Dot,
you know?
dot,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't be exactly sure.
Right.
But yeah, kicks off
Depends
at
on
1.
how fast people walk.
Kicks off at 1. Yeah, I mean, oh, man, if it starts raining, that
We're gonna be
parade
hustling.
starts moving. Yeah, seriously. I've been there a few times, and it's actually really funny because then everyone's like, come on. Like, all right.
Those trombones go really fast in the rain.
Yeah, okay, we're not playing around anymore. We got to finish this thing, you know. But yeah, so hopefully it's just a beautiful, relatively warm day, and and we all get to enjoy it.
And make sure you hit up local businesses. One I want to shout out in particular is the Local Hand, which you mentioned. Elle and I I'm wearing last year's Dorchfest shirt, but you're wearing this year's, and I've got the hat. You can pick up your Dorchfest merch at the Local Hand now early for a discount if you use discount code DFEarlyBird.
I believe so.
Or just tell her that it's from Dorchfest, and I think she can probably figure out how to apply the code.
Work with you.
Or day of. We have merch at 7 Fairfax. So all of the proceeds, or a good portion of the proceeds, go to support next year's event. Final question: what's your favorite place to eat in Dorchester? I warned you guys this was coming.
I did not see this.
Oh. I have many answers. Do you want all of my answers?
I want, yes.
No, I was thinking about it, and like, I mean, I do go out to eat plenty. I tend to spend more time in bars boozing than I spend
That's
time
fair.
in
We
restaurants
haven't had
eating.
a lot of good booze answers, so yeah.
I
let's hear
mean,
it.
hey, you can't. The Harp Bard has been like, man, I went to the Harp Bard after my first communion, after I was going there for like my grandmother's birthday and whatever. It's like that. So that place, man, like that's like so fundamental to my life. Mm-hmm. Me and my sister still catch up there every Friday. She doesn't live in Dorchester anymore, so it's tough talking to her sometimes, but she's okay. Just like hanging out at the Banshee all the time. I mean, one of the places that has, oh man, so many memories of like my dad passed a couple of years ago, but we used to just sit at Ghost Pepper in Savin Hill, and it's like it's impossible to pick one place because each place has like so many distinct memories of it. One I was thinking about was my favorite place to get a breakfast sandwich in Dorchester. Man, Honeycomb Cafe on Savin Hill Ave.
Oh yeah,
like right across from Cristo Rey, which used to be St. William's, where I went to elementary school. That place is awesome. I feel like they don't get enough like credit.
Yeah, I actually
really good.
have never been, but I've heard really good things.
Dude,
Bill Forey
really
shouted
good.
them out. Yeah, he said they
they're
were really good.
They're fantastic.
Okay,
man. I love
it's
their
on my list
staff.
now.
They're great people. Definitely.
Yeah. Elle.
Well, I mean, like frequency, probably the only one, Jamaican Takeout on Norfolk, because it's close to our house and it's very quick, just in and out. But I would say also, I mean, I love the Tavolo gluten-free pizza. I have a gluten allergy, so it does also alter what I can say.
Tavolo's great.
Tavolo's great.
Yeah.
Via Canucha, I mean, it's just, my husband came home with some kind of chicken the other day, leftovers. So good. But I really want to encourage, I'm going on the record, encourage Stefano to do tripa alla romana. It's tripe cooked Roman style with cheese and tomato.
You can make one dish of that, Stefano, and I think Elle will eat it.
I will eat it all. Yeah,
I would try it. Make 2 at least.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Faux foie, really good. And I also like the pound de queijo, another gluten-free treat. Pound de queijo at Homestead Bakery is really good. It's the Brazilian cheese bread. And I know Elisa has the recipe. She was like sharing with me a little bit of the, it's a special color.
Is it the round?
It's round.
I had those in Sao Paulo. They were so
good.
good.
So good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they make their own, and it's paprika and cheddar, so it's got like some extra stuff to it too at Homestead.
Very good. Good to know. All right. Well, I think I'll probably see you both this weekend. Fingers crossed for good weather. And thanks for all that you both do and the committees that you work with do. We really appreciate it.
And to you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Okay.